Okay, let's take a look at these 3 Cream Legbars. Right away I can see that the one in the middle has some obvious issues. His chest lacks uniform barring, but look at the comb. Earlobes are good, but the comb and the type and tail set are what are leaping out on this blue banded one. Here's a better look at him. Check out the angle of that tail. That's a really high tail. That's a squirrel tail. It's almost 90 degrees now at this age, and it's only going to get worse, unfortunately. Here's another look at the tail angle. You can also see his comb. It's bunched at the front and it's flopped over to the side at the back. Here he is again with the inconsistent barring. He's too pale, but it's mainly the tail angle and the comb here. That's almost an S-shaped comb where it bends to one side at the front and then the other at the back. So this guy, for me, falls into the category of under no circumstances breed from this bird, unfortunately. See his comb there? For me too, his crest begins too far forward. You can see that the crest feathers beside the front part of the comb are actually not so much on this side, but on his right eye are really obscuring his eye and interfering with his vision. See the squirrel tail on the right compared to the tail on the left, which is also on the high side. But the blue banded is much worse. So no need to look into his further faults. That's it for him. So let's take a look at the next candidate, the orange banded bird. Right away you can see his type is pretty good right now. Long back, low tail. The tail displays quite good barring across most of the feathers. He does have some chestnut on the shoulders, but that's allowable, although we'll breed away from that. Good strong white enamel in the earlobes. Also, the barring extends into his wing triangle, which is really good to see. Cream Legbars can often have a white wing triangle without barring. However, for all those good points, this is his comb. At the back there, it's kind of diverging, and he's got some version of side sprigs. Here's a closer inspection of the comb. It's quite upright, but at the back, it's really a mess. Some bunching at the front, but what's going on at the back there is really something we don't want to pass forward. It's really a shame because otherwise he has a lot going for him, this bird. I'll console myself by looking for other faults, like in his tail there you can see that many of the feathers are grey rather than grey barred, so that's a fault. His crest starts further forward than I'd like, bit heavy over the eyes. I prefer a more open face. But let's be honest, he'd still be in the running if not for his comb. Great temperament too. And especially the fact that he has more barring than many of his siblings through the wing triangle. Ah well. That leaves number 3, the green banded bird. Right away you can see he's too pale, lacking barring in the shoulder and the wing triangle and other parts of the body, including the chest. Tail set's pretty good, long back, low tail, great temperament again. There you can see the pale chest. And yet again, it's the comb. See the side sprigs at the back there? You can see towards the back of the comb there are tiny protrusions, little bumps, very slight, but we don't want any of that. It's also bunched at the front and slight wobble at the front, which we want to get rid of as well. His earlobe is also creased. Very slight. Another view showing the wobble and the bunching at the front and those irregularities at the back. Not to mention his other faults, but that's the main one. So for me, the choice is none of these 3 birds, sweet as they are.